How's it going, everyone? The 1MFP here. I hope you're all doing great today. Now, before getting into the subject matter of today's video, there's a story I want to share with you. Something I'm pretty excited about. I found it pretty cool. It's really nothing big, not a big deal at all, but I'm excited about it nonetheless. I was visiting a good friend of mine over the weekend, and we were just roaming about, ended up in this game shop or hobby shop, and I was browsing the store, and this table with like these containers filled with these little figurines was catching my attention for one reason or another. It's really something I could have easily skipped and just walked by, but there was something about it that was drawing me to it, and I just reached my hand in and there was like this figurine that was this vivid blue color and it caught my attention, so I picked it up. I glanced at it and I was like, this is Trash the Dragon. I took a few good looks at it. Couldn't really tell if it really was Trash the Dragon, so I ended up putting it back. I was like, there's no way, like that would be way too big a coincidence. So I just walked away, looked at other things in the store, just went into different parts of the store. But I couldn't get the thought out of my head that that was Trash the Dragon I was just holding. So before leaving the store, I went back to the bin, picked it up. I was like, you're Trash the Dragon. Went to the register, checked out, and yeah, here he is. Is it gonna focus? This thing is so tiny I can't get a proper shot of it. It just won't stay in focus. Maybe I'll take a picture of it. That might be the best way to get this done. But yeah, this thing is so tiny. It's part of the reason I was like, there's no way that this is Trash the Dragon. I remember it being bigger from the music video, but yeah, it seems that that's how little it is. And it was just such a random find. I was definitely not expecting to see this in, this little bin filled with a ton of other figurines. Yeah, pretty cool find. I'm really excited about it. Now I have a little Trash the Dragon toy, and he's basically gonna be in all my videos. You won't actually see him. He'll be in the background. I wish I could display him somewhere that would be visible, but he's so tiny, there's no way I could do that. So yeah, just know that if you're watching one of these reactions, Trash the Dragon is right there. Now to get into the actual subject matter of this video. Routines in the night. Much like my last reaction, which was to Navigating, this won't be a reaction to the song itself. I've already reacted to the song, and that is part of my album reaction. I'll have a link down below for that reaction in case you want to see my first impressions of the song, my first reaction, my first interpretation. That is all part of my album reaction. This video is really about the music video. It's my take on the music video. I wanted to react to this one in particular because I was told that there were elements of the lore present in this music video, and Paladin Straight will definitely contain a lot of that, so I wanted to react to anything that had the lore in it before Paladin Straight came out, so that once I got to Paladin Straight, I had, all the information from the CLANCY music videos that I need to go in and be informed as I'm reacting to Paladin Straight. So that's what I'm going to be reacting to here today. And following my reaction to Navigating, I've decided to kind of take a different approach with these music video reactions because if you've been following this channel, you notice that I tend to like to listen to a song in its entirety before really saying anything about it because I don't know, I just have a better time. I have an easier time really interpreting what's going on if I listen to a song from beginning to end. I'm better able to immerse myself into what's going on. So that's kind of how I like doing these reactions. But when it comes to music videos, especially to songs I already reacted to, I do feel like it might be beneficial to actually pause the videos so I could give you my thoughts as we progress through the video. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this intro. Let's jump right into this music video. Oh no. This reminds me a lot of Fairly Local. Yeah, oh wait, I forgot I said I was gonna pause through this a little bit. Yeah, the red lighting here, the white outfit, it makes me think of the Fairly Local music video quite a bit, and It's interesting to think about that just because with Overcompensate we had the reference to the Fairly Local music video with that like hand gesture thing, and then obviously with the end of Paladin Straight we have another reference to Fairly Local with the Few, the Proud, and the Emotional. So it's really interesting to see such an emphasis being put on the song. I'm not quite sure if this is an intended reference right here, but it certainly feels like it.
I'll probably jump on the next one. I'm testing the limits of what a mind can do. So beautiful, the space between a painful reminder and a terrible dream. I've been here before, and I've got time. I'll give you the tour, show you why I walk the layout, routines in the night, some doors have stayed out, spray painted and white while all the world.
Oh, the yellow flowers are there. That's a little reference to Trench, and more specifically the Trench music videos. There in like jumpsuit, I think it was, we saw the Banditos showering Clancy with those flowers. I'm interested to see where this goes. I already know that in Navigating we see the Banditos, so this might just represent that the Banditos are there in his mind. The influence of the Banditos is there.
I walk around and stare through the memories, down the halls of my head. Reoccurring, keeps coming around, REM cycle, skip night, psycho trip. It's reassuring, you keep coming around, it's tough to find good company. Reoccurring, days blurring, I'm still learning what this is, what this is, what this is. Just keep me company, I'll show you why I walk the layout, things in the night, some doors have stayed out, spray painted and white while all the world's asleep. I walk around and stare through the memories, down the halls of my head.
Okay. Interesting music video there, because I don't know, when I pictured this song in my head, I definitely saw, doors with "Stay Out" spray painted in white, and I don't think we see that at any point in this music video. Instead, what we have are a bunch of open doors, unless he's in the room, and at that point the doors are closed, or at least some doors are closed. So that's an interesting visual. It gives you a certain idea of where he's at, I think. And when I say where he's at, what I'm referring to is the type of mental space he's in. I guess the important thing to note is that the music video starts with him being woken up by a version of himself that has that black paint on his hands, which we could kind of assume is, him being infected with the negative thoughts. This is something I went over in my Navigating music video reaction. It just seems like anytime he has like that black paint running up his neck and running over his hands, it's like that's when the influence of Dima or the influence of Nico is really getting to him. Now, at that point, it may not be to the point where, he's going to be controlled by the negative thoughts or Nico or the bishops, but the influence is strong enough that it is noticeable and it is altering his behavior in some types of ways. And in this music video, I feel like it's being depicted in such a way that, these doors, they would have "Stay Out" spray painted on them. But despite that, they're just all open because that's where his mind is at. It's like there are these places in his mind that he knows he shouldn't be going to, these different rooms that he just shouldn't enter, but he will be entering them because of the influence of these negative thoughts. And furthering that thought regarding the influences and the doors, I found it pretty interesting that the door we see closed is with him in a room that is red. During the reaction, I referenced how it felt like the aesthetic was very reminiscent of the Fairly Local music video. And in that music video, when the room turns red, it gets to a point where, he does seem like he's being controlled. His eyes go red, and you get that section where he's saying, "Yo, this will never play on the radio." You get that version of him that has Nico coming out in a way, right? He's got Nico speaking through him. So for him to enclose himself in a room where, you know, he has that red on him, it is signifying to me that that's where his thoughts are going, right? It's convincing him that this is the type of room he should be in. So it kind of tells me that he's under the influence of Nico or the negative thoughts. And also interesting in that regard, we can contrast this room versus a room where he's got those yellow flowers, which we've come to associate to the Banditos and their influence. The door to that room is open, signifying that he can leave it. So overall, it's just a really interesting representation of where his mind could go and where it can take him, and the ways in which it would trap him as well, right? Because we've seen him talk about how important a strong support system is, how important it is to, establish that level of trust where you feel like you can actually turn to somebody and that person could actually help you, and to also put yourself in a position to help others. Here in this music video, he's kind of showing that when he's stuck in that place where he's ruminating, he's more likely to be enticed to leave that room where the support exists, and is also more likely to end up in one of those rooms with the negative thoughts and have the door locked on him. But there is an end to it, and that comes in the form of somebody waking him up in the same way that he was seemingly woken up in the beginning. The difference is what woke him up at the beginning of the music video was seemingly something more negative, right? With the black paint and whatnot. By the end of the music video, it's a hand that doesn't have any paint on it whatsoever. It kind of looks like it's Josh's hand, probably, but I'm not quite sure. We don't see the body that is attached or the face or anything like that. We just kind of see the arm. Either way, I think the important detail to take note of there is that, you know, it's not a negative influence. It's not a negative thought. It's something relatively pure, right? It has no paint on it, and no paint basically signifies that the thoughts haven't been infected. It could also signify that someone or something is able to pull him out of that headspace. But whatever it is that breaks him out, this is just another depiction of this cycle, right? We see where it starts, we kind of see where it ends. Now, it's a cycle that's bound to start again, and that's something we get out of him associating this cycle and this rumination to the nighttime. But again, I put emphasis on the idea that the important detail here is that there's an end to it, right? There's an end, there's something that is capable of breaking him free from that rumination. Now, the last couple of things I'd like to bring attention to were things that I was actually looking for when I was watching this video, because as I listened to this song, I was really curious to see how they would depict that part where he says, it's reassuring you keep coming around. It's tough to find good company. In both instances, when he says company, we get a shot of Josh. And Josh has just been such an important part of the storytelling in these music videos. And the more that is presented to us, we see like just how big his role is. We kind of saw it throughout the music videos, right? If we treat Heavy Dirty Soul as the starting point of the narrative that's told through the music videos, we saw the importance of Josh's character right there, with him playing in the middle of the street and probably obstructing the car enough to deviate it from its natural path and eventually causing it to, catch fire. From that point on, we saw how much Josh's character helps Tyler and Clancy navigate these different areas in his mind. With the navigating music video, we saw that Josh's character can take on different forms, and these different forms somehow come together to provide Clancy with anything he really needs to get through any particular situation. He needed to get out of the car. Josh's character was there for him. He needed help filling the pool in chlorine so that Ned would jump in and grow strong and, grow those antlers. And furthermore, I think it was also to establish trust between Ned and both Tyler and Josh. Josh was there for Tyler in that instance. He needed to get out of Dima. Josh's character helped him out with that. Clancy needed help making his way to Ned so that Ned could ultimately provide him with the antlers to seize the person within Dima. Josh's character was there for him in that area, and he was also there in Dima. And then by the end of the navigating music video, the version of Josh that was in Dima was able to bring Clancy the mask. That mask is probably going to be significant in the Paladin Strait video in the encounter between Clancy and Nico. So it just seems like Josh's character is there for Clancy no matter what. So to have that character be depicted in this way in this music video that's essentially talking about, being stuck in this cycle, and to have Tyler label this character as some symbol of hope within this cycle, I just find it to be a very interesting way for him to solidify the power of support that he's been preaching through the music. Reoccurring days blurring, I'm still learning what this is, just keep me company. It's like no matter how dark these nights get, no matter what room he gets locked into, he knows at some point he's gonna make his way right back to this character that Josh is depicting, or if he's just too caught up in the cycle, that character will pull him out. And that's why I kind of think that the character we see at the end waking Tyler up is Josh's character. But either way, the point is, no matter how bad it gets, he's always got that part of him or that character that's going to save him. And I think having that type of support allows him to better navigate this space and to potentially push his limits, as he mentions earlier on in the song. I'm testing the limits of what a mind can do. I'm keeping my eyelids open no matter what. So beautiful, the space between a painful reminder and a terrible dream. It's like he's caught in this very difficult position, and from the outside it probably looks like he's not doing all he can do to make his circumstances better. And that's something I kind of went over in my Midwest Indigo reaction within the album reaction. It's like there's certain things that you think he could probably do to make his circumstances better, that could make his life easier, but he's just not taking that path. Instead, he tends to get caught up in these difficult parts of his mind, and he tends to find beauty in that, as he describes in this song. And if we were to kind of get into different songs, it seems like the reason for that is it allows him to get into a really interesting creative space. It allows him to express thoughts that he wouldn't otherwise be able to express. It allows him to explore parts of himself that would just remain otherwise unknown. So in other words, as much as he's described this struggle as something that enables him to make music, it's also a struggle that puts him on a path of self-discovery. He may sometimes eventually wander too deep into the depths of the darkness, and that's where the company becomes really important. That's where the support becomes really important. That's where that hand we see at the end waking him up becomes really important. But yeah, that's pretty much what I saw in this music video, and I think that pretty much summarizes my thoughts on it. It's a pretty simple music video, but I think it does a good job of solidifying and depicting the message of the song and making it that much more tangible for a viewer, especially if you're familiar with the other music videos. I feel like if you were to watch the Fairly Local music video and you watch this, you see that there's some continuity there, some important continuity, and that's where I feel like they do a really good job of providing enough information that you kind of want to go watch the other stuff. If you were to watch the Fairly Local music video and watch this, I feel like you're just thinking to yourself, there's got to be references in other places as well, so let me go watch those. And that's definitely part of what I love about 21 Pilots. It's like there's so many things that you could connect across their discography and across their music videos. And it does such a good job of expanding the ideas you get out of a single song and a single music video. Like they just complement each other so well that, it makes you want to go and listen to as much as you possibly can to really get the whole picture. There's just so much to the thoughts that Tyler's talking about in these songs, and to kind of see where some of these might originate or the different forms these thoughts might take. It's just fascinating to explore, and these songs and music videos give you such an amazing opportunity to understand those things. Anyways, that does it for this music video reaction. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. My next 21 Pilots reaction will most likely be to the Paladin Straight music video. Really excited for that one, really intrigued to see where they go with that. I'm pretty sure the whole fan base is, so definitely excited to experience that with y'all. I will see you all next time. Have a great day, y'all.